There's a frog on my plot. Frog, toad, hiding in the weeds. Oh my gosh, it moves fast. It moves fast. So welcome back to another video. I'd left it a week coming down to the plot, and as you can see, all my hard work had been undone and all the weeds had taken over all the places that I'd cleared. So I set about doing it all over again. If you're going to have an allotment plot, little and often is definitely the way to go about it. Otherwise, you just end up weeding the same things again and again and again. So, I'm trying to clear all of the weeds over the part that I'd already done. And something jumped out and scared the life out of me. I don't know where it's going. If I don't want to hurt it. Oh, 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 oh. Guys, can you see that? It's a frog. It's either a frog or a toad. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the difference. But if I could get my gloves off and zoom in, that's as close as it goes. So is it a frog or a toad? How do you tell? It's just there, sitting in the weeds. I know I feel really, really bad, because what if it was living in here and I've just destroyed its home? Because, oh gosh. So yeah, I'm gonna go and move over to the other side of the plot and just like let it go away and do its thing, because I don't want to traumatize it. But that is so cool. It's an actual real life frog. This guy does not want to leave. I've given him ages and he's just determined to sit right in the middle of my bed. What do we do now? So this is a brand new day. This video is made up of lots of little pieces. I didn't get to spend as much time here as I wanted to over the last few weeks. Kids have been off school and they don't really want to come with me, so I kind of bullied my youngest into coming along, and I was trying to teach him how to use the strimmer to cut down some of the weeds that had grown up where I wanted my vegetable beds, but he was just terrified of it. Didn't want to use it at all, so he kind of ran off and left me to it, and he took over the camera work after that. So if it's a bit shaky, we're going to blame the 7-year-old.
It's a 16 buff in the dark.
So this is me trying to put together the edges of another bed and failing miserably.
I also put that in close. I zoomed in on that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
So we did get it done in the end. He helped me out, learned how to use the impact driver, which is apparently a lot less scary than the strimmer. So he was happy to do that. Haven't quite got this bed completed. It's got like 2 parts to it and they now need to be joined together. Right, welcome back to a rainy day in the West Midlands. It's pouring it down at the moment. It's been raining on and off. I think we've had our summer. We've had at least 2 weeks of nice weather here in the UK, which is about a week more than we normally get. So we've got to be satisfied with that. I don't mind the fact that it's raining. I was down here in 27-degree heat the other day. I managed to hack it for about an hour before I just had to go home because it was just too hot. I've found it's a lot easier to do this kind of work in the cold and even in the rain than it is in the heat. So this is a tying up loose ends video today. You can see I've made a right royal mess everywhere. If I have a major fault, it is this. I start things and I don't finish them. And every single member of my family will attest to that fact. It probably drives them nuts. So I started this area, which is going to be my, would you call them raised beds? They're just edged beds, really. Put down some weed membrane in the middle for paths, some cardboard for the beds, but left it in a bit of a mess and never really finished it. And then I got distracted and I moved on to this area, which this is what I was doing when it was 27 degrees, dressed all in black as well, by the way. I'm not smart. And I was pulling up all the plastic in this, what would I call it? This, the area in between the two fruit trees. So we've got a pear tree here and an apple tree here. And this area, the plan for this area was to make like a herb or medicinal plant kind of garden, like a herbal hospital garden, if you like, with lots of different plants with medicinal properties, and things like chamomile and lavender, and just things that I can use that are not fruit or vegetables, so mainly herbs and flowers. So I started pulling up all the plastic from here, which was a lot of hard work in that kind of heat because there's tons of it. You can see absolute tons of it. So I've made a mess over here as well, and I haven't finished this either. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go against my nature and try and tidy up the mess that I've already made, finish some areas. Now, some of it's difficult. I don't have the wood to finish these beds down here. I'm working on that, but there's tons that I can do. I can get rid of all the rubbish. I can, my cardboard is blown over to next door's plot, so I'm going to go and get that before anyone sees it. Get rid of anything that I don't need, tidy it all up and just make it a little bit more organised. Then if we have time, I will start with the levelling this area and get some more weed membrane down for the path through the middle. I need to get weed membrane down on these paths here as well because the weeds are starting to come through again. Lots of things that I don't even know what these are, but we'll sort that out too. So that's what we're doing today in the rain. I also started clearing the paths. See, something else that I started, and I've got such a cool tool for doing that, which I will show you in a bit. So yeah, that is what we're going to do today. I'm not sure how much filming there will be today because it keeps raining and my phone's going to get wet, so I don't really want that to happen. Yeah, that's about it. Let's do it. So one thing I never expected to be doing on an allotment is sweeping weed membrane. But it actually works. It works really well. I've now got this nice, clean, clear area free of all the crap, which is going to be really useful for, you know, doing the rest of this allotment, putting things together, making the bed edging and whatnot. So, you know, my mum's just going to be in her happy place when she sees this. So I'll show you cleaned something. Yeah, mum, how's that? That's nice. I've got this pile down here of stuff that I've salvaged, that I found, that I'm going to be using. I'm starting to make a pile over here of usable wood. I got as much of the cardboard as I could off my neighbour's plot without trampling all over their fruit and veg. So now I'm going to tidy up the actual beds themselves, get the cardboard sorted in the right place, and weed membrane these paths and get that, whatever that's growing at the side of my bed, get that out. Oh, what have I done? Oh, there we go. I've got this pile of wood here that needs sorting out into what I can use and what needs to be burnt. I think we're going to be having a big bonfire down there at some point. Probably wait until, you know, November, bonfire season, and burn the bindweed. I may do a pagan dance around it, possibly chanting. We'll see. Right, well, we are almost finished with this area of the allotment. Well, finishing what I can do now with what I have available to me. So we've got weed membrane in all of the paths in between the beds on this side. This still needs to come out, I will get round to that. And cardboard in the beds, waiting for, yeah, this bed is really weedy. I'm going to get in there and sort that out. Waiting for compost. So I've got about a bag and a half of compost in the boot that I'm going to bring over in a sec, and sort that out. This bed needs to have the side attached to it. I'm going to see if I've got screws with me. I don't think I do. I'm big enough to do that today, so that might have to wait till the next trip. The weed membrane in the middle. This is going to look like a really, really big path area. It's not going to be all path. So down the middle, I plan to grow my potatoes, but I'm going to do them in pots. So I've weed membraned it all anyway, and we'll just have I think 2 rows of they're like 30-litre pots going the length of this, and paths on either side. Over here, don't have wood for the edges of these beds yet. Hopefully getting some more pallets in the next couple of weeks. So, God, pallets again. We can do something with that. That bed, I got some old decking boards, but they still need to be joined up. But we've got the cardboard down. It's held down with some bits of wood and some bricks for now. Hopefully stop it blowing away onto other people's plots. And we've got the weed membrane in between for the paths. You might notice that this side has 5, does that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1 metre beds, whereas this side only has 4. That is because this last bed at the end is like double the size. It's nearly 2 metres wide, because I wanted one bigger one for things like sweet corn, which has to be planted in blocks, or squash, pumpkins and marrows, something that needs more of a larger surface area to kind of spread out. So I've made one bigger bed and then the 3 smaller ones on this side. So I've got a few more bits of cardboard as well in the car, which I'm going to use to cover up these little gaps around here and bring that compost in. And then I think we've done, other than a few bits of weeding, I've done everything that I can do for the veg beds at the moment. I now need to get more wood, so pallets or any other wood that I can get my hands on, and compost, which, you know, is the only thing I'm gonna have to buy, because I can't make compost that quickly. So next job is going to be this area. I think most of the herbs and plants, like medicinal plants, that I want to grow will probably be grown in pots, or little raised beds, things like that. I've got some tyres that I'm thinking I could use to grow things in, just to contain them, because things like mint will go absolutely nuts, and I don't want it taking over. Which is why this is still here in the middle of my bed. It's a borage plant. There used to be loads on this site. I cut a lot of it down because it was just going nuts. And I'm going to dig this one up. I saved this one. I'm going to dig it up and relocate it over to the herb area, whether that be in a pot or in the ground. I'm not too sure yet. That's why I've just kind of cardboarded around it to try and keep the weeds down, but I haven't got around to digging it up yet. So all of this plastic now needs to be dragged. You'll notice what I'm doing is that all of the mess that I make and all the crap that I get up from this allotment, I'm just pushing down to the end. So it's my hope that once I get to the end of the plot, then I can dispose of all the rubbish, because there is so much plastic on this site, guys. And I understand why they've done it, you know, to cover it up. The bindweed is ridiculous. You can see all the roots of it from where I've poured the plastic up. But I don't like plastic, especially not when you're growing your things and you're going to be eating them. I mean, I don't particularly like weed membrane either, but I keep it to the paths where I'm not growing things. I'd like to get all the plastic off this plot if possible. That's all going to have to be bagged up, unless I can find another use for it. I don't think so. It's very ripped, it's dirty, it's gross. It's half buried into the ground, so it takes a lot of effort to pull it out, especially for someone who has no strength whatsoever. I'm finding a lot of bricks and rocks, which is great. I'm making a pile of them over by the compost bay, saving them. I'm sure they'll come in useful. So let's get on with pulling some more plastic up. Okay. Right, so now I can actually get close to this pear tree. It was all brambles and stingers before. I'm having a look at it, and I honestly don't know what's going on with this tree. So it looks like either there were two planted very, very close to each other, or that's just one big one that's been like cut. Maybe it's split into two trunks and one of them was cut down, and now we've got new growth coming out of the one that was cut all the way up, and it's making like a new tree. So you've got the older tree here, and then another tree coming up from the stump of where it was at some point cut. I don't know what to do with this. And I'm not going to do anything now because we're waiting for the trees to go dormant, but this winter, do I cut down the old tree and leave the new growth to grow into a new tree, or do I cut off all this new growth? Okay, so the new growth that's on here has not, as far as I can tell, has not fruited this year. There's no fruit on it. I'm not sure how long it takes before fruit gets on it. The old one is fruited prolifically, so there are a lot of pears on this tree. I don't want to chop down it. I mean, it needs pruning, absolutely. I don't particularly think I should be chopping down a tree that's established and is fruiting well. I don't know if I can remove this one and keep it alive. If anyone, can I do that? I mean, if I cut it, it's not going to have any roots on it, so it's just going to die, isn't it? What would be my perfect scenario would be if I could cut this out and move and have two pear trees, one more established, one not yet fruiting. That would be great, but I don't think that is a viable option. I don't know. If anyone knows if there's a way that I can do that, please let me know, because that would be brilliant. If not, do I just get rid of this? I mean, it's grown really tall, but like I said, it's not fruited this year. It's just so healthy. Or do I just leave it alone? Let it do its thing, prune it into a manageable size, and just leave it alone. I have no clue. Someone help me with this pear tree. What do I do with it? What do I do that's best for the tree? Help. Right, this is the tool that I was talking about, that I've been using to clear the paths. So you can see, right, this is all loose at the minute. I need to sweep it all up. But everything is growing in between the gaps of the paths. And I bought this. It's really embarrassing. I bought it from the TikTok shop. It's not something that I usually go on, but I think it's amazing. So you kind of just scrape it across, and it just rips it all up. But some bits are harder because like the slabs are uneven, so you hit it in the slab. But it slices it off. The blade on it is really sharp. And I'm doing this one-handed, which is really hard because my tripod broke. But I've always been doing it. It just slices through, and I mean, I'll do all this and then I'll sweep it off and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards, because it's really easy to do. That's great. Right, there we go. Just as it starts putting it down again, a really nice clear path that I've done, compared to what it was, which is, oh god, I'm getting wet, was like this. I think it's a lot better. And I've just realised I'm doing the exact same thing that I said I wasn't going to do over again, getting distracted. I'm supposed to be clearing this area, and I started clearing the path instead. But you know, the path is next to this area, so I could convince myself that it's all the same. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So yeah, I'm doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing. Right, so we're calling it a day up here today. Emptied the car, put the compost out. Oh, actually, I think there's half a bag still in there, which I'll grab in a sec. And the rest of the cardboard, which, to be fair, I don't really know where to put. I'll fill in some of these gaps, but I think I'll just put in the shed for now so it doesn't blow around everywhere. But I've cleared this area around the tree, extended the weed membrane out a little bit, cleared some of this. It's really hard going because it's all like that bindweed and crap everywhere. So it's raining again. I'm fed up of being rained on now, so I'm going to call it a day. Next time I come back up, I'm hopeful that I'll have some pallets so I can do a few more bed edgings, continue clearing the area between the trees, and tackle this pile of plastic, which I think I'm just going to cut up, bag it all up, and put it to one side for the tip. So yeah, that'll be probably next week now, once the kids are back at school. So see you then.